Quick Select and Layer Mask Touch-ups. In this tutorial, we will take a look at the Quick Select tools and Layer Mask Touch-ups and how they can help us. If we click and hold on the toolbar, we can see that it is nested with the Magic Wand tool, and that is because the selection of both these tools is based on color and tone. The main difference between the Quick Select tool and the Magic Wand tool is the fact that the Quick Select tool has an edge detection built into it, which gives us a huge advantage while using it. So, we will now select the Quick Select and make it a slightly bigger brush. To do this, we will use the right bracket key and then click drag downward in the jacket area in order to select it. We do not really have to select everything in one go. We can just release the cursor and Photoshop will automatically select the second icon to add to the selection, so that we can continue clicking and dragging in order to select the jacket. If we anytime happen to select too much, we can simply hold down the Alt key and it will toggle us into the subtract form selection so that we can remove the portion of the wall right here. If we now release the Alt key, we will be back to add selection and we can continue clicking in order to add a little bit more of the edge area. We will go ahead and remove a little bit of area near the sleeve as we have added a little more to it. We can do that again by holding down the Alt key as we just saw. So, with the Quick Select tool, we can just create a balance by adding and subtracting areas. What is important to know here is that Photoshop builds a color table of all the colors we have so far clicked so that it can get smarter as we keep using it. We will now make this jacket a little bluer. To do that, we must add an adjustment later, for which we must choose Layer and then New Adjustment Layer and then Color Balance. We will name this Layer Jacket and click OK. We will then move this slider nearer to cyan and this one a little towards blue. We will close the Properties panel and zoom in using the Windows +1 shortcut. We will use the space bar in order to check the mask with better precision. We now can see clearly that we have missed a few areas where the mask is black. It is hiding information, which in this case is the increase in blue color, or rather the color balance adjustment. Wherever the mask is white, it is revealing the information. So, if we want the adjustment to be visible at the top of the mask here, we will tap the B key and switch over to the brush tool and make sure the foreground is white by tapping the X key. Painting it white will show the color balance adjustment. We will use the space bar now in order to navigate down and scan this image ourselves. Along the edge, we will click once and then hold the Shift key, allowing Photoshop to paint, and then we will connect the dots every time we click. We will navigate down by using the space bar and then click and then Shift click along these straight lines to fill that in. The bottom of the jacket looks good, but we can see a huge area here where we have selected too much. So we will tap the X key in order to select black as the foreground color and painting with black color. We will let the mask hide this part. We could either switch to a smaller brush or simply paint the adjustment out of the areas we don't want them in. And then tap the X key in case we want to paint them back. Let us now look at the sleeve area. We need to paint it in with white so that the adjustments are seen. Let us now zoom back using Windows +0. Now we will check the mask, and to do it, hold down the Alt key and click the mask. We can see that we missed a little spot over here. So we will again zoom in and move to the area and tap the X key in order to use black. Paint the mask to hide the extra area that we selected. We see that the edges of the mask are quite jagged. To soften that, we will click on the eye icon to see the image and click on the Properties panel and increase the feather amount. We now have softened it to our liking. We will now zoom out, and since we have spent so much time in this mask, we can reuse it if we want to adjust the background. In order to do so, we have to hold down the Windows key and click the mask icon, which loads the mask as a selection. However, we want to select the background, for which we will choose Select and then Inverse, and we will add a new adjustment layer, this time Hue Saturation. We shall name this layer as DSAT, DSAT, and tap OK. We will now move the saturation slider towards left to remove it from the wood behind the jacket. So, just as we have just seen, Photoshop's tools can help us with our original selections. But it is important to know that we can go in and refine it anytime we want.